Good morning, good afternoon and good evening. Wherever you are and whatever you're doing, I hope you're having a fantastic day. Today we're going to be taking a look at 5 ways you made Elden Ring harder for yourself, be it accidentally or otherwise. And just super quickly before we get into the first one, once you've watched through this video, if there is any other ways you can think of that people may have accidentally made Elden Ring harder for themselves, please let me know in the comments. And if we get enough feedback, I may even do a part 2 reviewing your top ways that we accidentally made Elden Ring harder. And now, in no particular order, number 1, killing NPCs. Now, there's a few different reasons and ways that you may kill an NPC. Maybe you just absolutely hate them, like Patches here. Or maybe you genuinely believe they might not be an NPC or a hostile enemy in disguise. Or, the most frustrating reason, is you put the controller down, accidentally knock one of the shoulder buttons, and end up making them hostile. Whatever the reason, it is never a good idea to attack an NPC in a FromSoft game. You can almost guarantee that in some way, shape or form they will be crucial to one questline or another, and by killing them, you lock yourself out of a lot of very tasty loot, and also some very cool lore in one way or another. With that being said, it was incredibly satisfying killing Patches for the first time for the purposes of this video. Also, dressing up as him was quite cool as well. And the same can be said for Vare here as well. Who do I think you are, Vare? I don't know. Maybe someone who just killed my maiden? So now let's move into the second way that you may have made Elden Ring harder for yourself, by upgrading the wrong weapons. The problem with this one is twofold, and I'm curious to know which end of the spectrum you sit on. So, you find a new awesome weapon, the Reduvia, which you see me upgrading now to +4. However, now I've just burnt through all my somber smithing stones, and if I were to then come across another awesome weapon, I now no longer have the smithing stones to upgrade it, so for quite some time it's going to be much weaker than it could be. So I'm stuck using this weapon. Also, as I'm jabbering away, you'll see me grinding for runes, because I don't currently have the stats to use the Reduvia, and this problem we'll be revisiting in a later point. But for now, let's get back to upgrading the wrong weapons. So as I say, you've found a new cool weapon, you've upgraded it. Amazing! But now you come across an even cooler weapon that would make the next area so much easier for you, but you now no longer have the smithing materials or the runes to upgrade it. This is where you might fall on the other end of the spectrum and be faced with the same problem for a very different reason. You refuse to upgrade any weapons because you are very scared that if you use them smithing materials, just round the corner in that chest will be another incredibly awesome weapon, 10 times more cool than the one you're currently using, but you've just wasted the smithing materials you need to upgrade it. So instead, you fall into the trap of never using any of your smithing materials and desperately trying to complete the game with every weapon at +0. I definitely fall into the former category. I cannot wait to upgrade all my weapons, and I get stuck with many weapons on various levels of upgradedness. As you see here, I've got a +7 spear, I've got a +4 sword, I've got a +4 Reduvia. It's a mess. So though I do now finally have the stats to use the Reduvia, oh look, I've noticed I've got Vike's War Spear. Incredible! I really want to use this. It aligns with my stats so much better. Oh wait, I've wasted all of my smithing materials on the Reduvia, therefore it's going to stay at +0 for the foreseeable, doing no damage. Fantastic. We'll now move into number 3, wasting items. This one can be a problem in so many different areas of the game. So, let me list a few of the potential issues and just let me know if this is you. You walk into a boss fight, like here when facing off against Margit the Felloman. You've got 6 fire pots, and they deal a tremendous amount of damage, so let's use them all up. Now, I did get a bit carried away and end up killing him, but for sake of argument, let's say that he now kills me. The first tactic I've used to get him down to this amount of health required fire pots. I've now used them all up. What if I don't have enough crafting materials left to make more? And let's take this one step further. What if the items I've been using require crafting materials that are limited, such as the St. Trina's lilies. It locks you into this endless battle in your brain of, should I use these items because I know they're going to make the fight a lot easier for me? But what if I use them and die? I then have less items for my next attempt and it will be even harder. So again, just with the smithing stones, you could end up going the complete opposite direction and just hoarding and never using every single item in the game. And yes, I am talking to you. I can almost guarantee every single person watching this video right now is a hoarder. You love the same kinds of RPGs that I do, and you hate using any item just in case you need it later on in the game. Yes, you've completed Final Fantasy with 99 elixirs and you will never use one. As I say, I got greedy and ended up killing Margit during this fight. But for sake of argument, let me now open up the item crafting. And as you see here, I don't have all the materials required to make more fire pots. So if I didn't do that, I'm just going to struggle even harder during my next attempt. And now going one step further, when we're talking about wasting consumable items, rune arcs. Especially if you use a rune arc before applying a great rune. It hurt my soul doing this to demonstrate this to you. It will give you a tiny health buff, but you have just wasted a very rare, very limited item. And for this reason, I know people are super reluctant to ever use rune arcs in this game. So make sure you use your rune arcs cautiously and wisely. Now we'll go on to number 4, being stubborn. We've all been there. You get super frustrated banging your head against a wall. The wall in this case being the tree sentinel. You are determined, you're a Souls vet, you've done these games before, you can do them blindfolded. Elden Ring, this isn't a hard game. And you die, and you die, and you die. And you get so frustrated that during one of your attempts, you forget to grab your runes. And you come back, you get your runes, and you are back down to 0. Being stubborn and losing your runes is one of the most painful things in this game. It sets your leveling back, and it can put you in such a foul mood for the rest of your play session. If you start to get like this, I strongly advise to take a break, cool off, and come back later. I can almost guarantee you will do 10 times better and absolutely smash the boss. We're all guilty of it, and there is no shame in it. Being stubborn just comes with enjoying these kind of games. But look after yourself and don't let it get the better of you. So as I'm showing you another clip of me being incredibly stubborn and trying to make it through the main gate of Stormvale Castle whilst losing 12,000 runes in the process, I just wanted to say thank you so damn much for being here. You are amazing and wonderful. And if you enjoy the channel and the content, please consider liking the video and subscribing to the channel. Thank you so much. Also, I'm wanting to really quickly plug the Patreon as well, because we have some awesome rewards for members of the Patreon over there, including early access to videos, exclusive merchandise for the higher tiers, and your name in the credits of all videos so people know just how amazing you are. Now we'll move on to number 5, leveling up the wrong stats. This one is an absolute killer for me, and comes with a very similar dilemma to leveling up your weapons. What stats do I level? What weapons are around the corner? Do I spec into faith? Do I spec into strength? Am I going to regret it and end up wanting to do an intelligence build or a dexterity build? This one is incredibly prominent for a first playthrough. And especially in certain games, I'm looking at you Bloodborne, where it doesn't let you respec. This can definitely result in reroll syndrome, where you just want to perpetually create new characters because you keep hating how you've spec'd yourself. Jesus, is it just me, or did everyone else make like 5 characters before you even left Limgrave? After your first playthrough, once you know where most of the items are, and you're happy that you've got a build in mind, this becomes less prominent, but during your first playthrough, leveling the wrong stats is such a bane. At least you do have the saving grace that Renala is there to respec you once you reach the Raya Lucaria Academy. That is my top 5 ways that you inadvertently made the game harder for yourself. As I say, let me know if you have any more that I haven't thought of. And as always, I hope you have an amazing day, and I will see you in the next one. Bye bye.